are all like everywhere. All right, so we're gonna get to it. So anyway, you and your husband opened up a brewery, but to get to that part, you were one of those garage brewers. Tell us, what was that all about, and how did it even start?
Well, Dan and I moved to California in like 1998, and he really liked beer, but there weren't a lot of craft type beers out in California, so he started brewing out there. Bought a kit, tried it out, and got really good at it. So that was in our little 1-bedroom apartment. Filled the whole apartment with stink, but it was.
It does smell like hops.
Yeah,
and
like,
hops are.
I got used
anyway.
to it. Now I like the smell, but it was hard at that time because we had such a small place.
Sure.
And then when we came back to this coast, same thing. We had a 1-bedroom apartment, kept going with that. Moved into a house, did it in the backyard, then moved into the house now, and that's when we started doing it in the garage.
Okay, so let's just stop here. How far back does this go for you brewing?
1998.
Wow,
Maybe
so
a little
you were
earlier.
like one of those pioneers.
Yeah, he liked everything that was different, so he wanted to make his own.
Yeah, because kind of breweries were, what, 2000s, 20?
I don't even know when they got popular because they weren't when we were doing it.
They weren't,
for
no,
sure.
not at all. My brother-in-law made his own. Him and his, they were in Oregon, so it must have been like a West Coast thing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Usually makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so then you get to New Jersey, you have a house, so you don't have to smell the hops all the time. It's in the garage.
We had a whole production in there.
Wow.
Had the 5-gallon system. It was so cute because my kids were little, and it was we had like a bottling line. So Izzy would do the little cap, and I would do the, and Augie would do the what do you call it, the label.
Yeah.
And we just go down the line.
And were you making it just for friends at that time?
Yeah, we were just making it to make it. We'd only make like a case at a time, not a lot. And the neighbor at the time, Cody, he helped us a lot too. So he's actually the Two Dopes in a Garage. Our coffee beer is called Two Dopes in a Garage.
Uh-huh.
He's the other dope.
He's the other dope?
Yeah.
I love
He was our
that.
next door neighbor.
Two Dopes in a Garage.
Yeah.
So then you're in your garage. So at what point do you realize, were people like saying, wow, this is really good beer, you should open a brewer? Is that?
Constantly, yeah.
Okay.
And then we were making so much, and people were coming over, and new people were coming over and picking stuff up, and we weren't really selling it because it was illegal. And then we started bringing it to restaurants. And letting them taste it, and everybody liked it. We did it at Centro. We did some tasting at Centro when it was Centro.
Yeah.
And we went to Beer Fest and just kept going until finally we were like, well, maybe we should do this.
Yeah.
And it was exciting, but it was hard. It was really hard on my husband because he worked full time, and he would brew 12 hours on the weekends and then work full time, 80 hours, 60 hours at his other job. So that was really hard. But once we got into the, gist of it, he finally hired his best friend. He taught him how to do everything, and his best friend does the brewing now.
Okay.
So really he can just do his job, put out fires when he needs to, create recipes, and it's pretty smooth at this point.
Yeah, create recipes, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So is it something, I just, can't imagine, because I'm not really much of a cook or coming up with things that are trendy, tasty, seasonal. So I know in the state of New Jersey, you have to have a percentage that is grown here. Is that how that works in order to brew it, or am I making that up?
Not really. I think that's the farm brewers have to do that. Yeah,
Okay.
If you're on a farm, which we were originally going to try to do right on Tindall Road. There was a farm. Cody's grandfather had a farm a couple doors down.
Oh, yeah?
So we were originally going to try to do that, but that didn't work out. So we ended up finding the place that we have now. It worked out beautifully. Love it there.
I know, in Bordentown City, Farnsworth Avenue, everyone, Tindall Road Brewery. Tindall Road Brewery, how's the name come about?
That's the street we started it on in
Robbinsville?
the garage. Yep.
I love
Still
it.
live there.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I had some friends. I had a girlfriend that lived there actually too. So I was laughing because I'm like, I wonder if that's the road. And it was. I love it. So then, okay, so now you open this business 2019?
Yep.
You're there 8 months?
6 months.
6 months, COVID hits.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's insane. That's a small business nightmare. It was a small business nightmare to begin with.
It's crazy.
But starting out, you don't even have traction. So you have this strategy, you have a whole plan, you're like, this is what we're doing. that hits. How did you shift in order to, because you're still around?
Everything just stopped for a while. We were shut down for 3 months, and then we were allowed to sell takeout. So Ryan is the best. He works at Uno's, Ryan Snyder. He was a machine putting out those crowler cans, and we were just selling them. People kept coming. They kept coming. It was wonderful. Everybody from the town supported us. Everyone from Robbinsville supported us. We've been in Mercerville and Hamilton forever, so people kept coming out. And I'm not saying we made money, but it worked out. We stayed alive. We were able to pretty much pay the rent most of the time.
You and everyone else.
Exactly.
I mean, it was like the paperwork for small businesses, for the government, was like insane.
But we were able to get a lot of grants and a lot of loans through the government. It was pretty cool that way.
Yeah. And being a teacher, I'm sure that helps with the paperwork process. That wasn't easy paperwork.
No.
Not.
Plus, we're trying to figure out how to do remote learning at the same time.
Right.
I'm at home trying to teach a class, trying to do the business. That was just crazy.
Wow. So let's go back here. So not only do you have a business, a brewery that involves making something, you're not just selling widgets, right? Mm-hmm. Then you also have kids. You're a teacher teaching online. All of you are in the home. And then
at the same table.
At the same table. Oh, girl, that definitely is a test of time, isn't it?
That actually became very close at that time, though.
Yeah.
We all got really close, more than usual.
Well, you either got close
or
you
not.
Totally went your different paths, but in your case with your kids, you really couldn't do that. No, it was a time, wow, that was like, right?
I can't even believe it's been that long.
I know.
It feels like it was yesterday.
It really does. I mean, it really does. And
that's where this came from, driveway drinker.
I love it.
Because everybody was drinking in their driveway, remember?
Yeah.
Like 6 feet apart on the chairs
with the
coolers, So we made these driveway drinker for that time.
I love it. Oh my God, that's awesome. She wore her iconic shirt. Everyone, driveway. Do you sell those still?
Not anymore, because they don't make sense anymore.
They don't make sense anymore.
People ask me for them all the time. I'm like, well, why am I going to make that? But I don't know, maybe I should. Retro.
Yeah, right. COVID retro.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's relive it. No.
No, let's not and say we did. So then you go into that now as a small, having a small business. So you are also, so in addition to that, you had some really, really rigor. I mean, breweries in New Jersey had laws that I have no idea. Tell everybody a little bit about the laws and what you guys were faced with, because it was insane, personally.
It was insane. I don't want to get myself in too much trouble, but the laws were crazy. Like, for example, we were only allowed to have 2 TVs, and they had to be 50 inches or smaller, and they couldn't have sports on. We weren't allowed to advertise what we were doing unless we called it an event. We can only have 25 events per year, and even having a sports game on counted as an event. Yes.
Sorry.
It was crazy.
That doesn't even make sense.
Live music was a joke. We weren't really allowed to do anything.
Oh, you used to get in trouble all the time.
All the time. And from the city, too, all the time.
All the time.
That was just
You were
crazy.
like Marci, the troublemaker.
Oh, my God. And all I was just trying to do was survive, and everybody's picking on me.
All you're trying to do is survive. I'm like, she's got a business.
Crazy.
And music brings people in.
Right.
And then they're going to have a beverage.
They couldn't have a microphone or an amp. They were allowed to play
acoustic.
Acoustic, but I wasn't allowed to advertise. So how the hell will people know? I don't know, but we figured it out. It was so dumb.
I remember sharing a lot of your stuff. I'm like, you're like, don't put my. It was crazy. And
Still doing stuff like that. Like
I know. She's like your PTSD.
Oh my God, the music stuff is crazy still. Because now we're allowed to do unlimited music, but the music unions are up all of our butts.
Really?
Like, all of our butts. Yes.
I didn't even know there was a music union.
Oh yeah, there's 4 or 5 of them, and they're all on the same street in Nashville. So you have to have a license from each one of them, because each one of them represent probably the same song, but this artist, and then this artist, and then this director, and then this producer. It's a racket, especially in New Jersey, and it goes by like how many seats you have. So we get lumped in with the restaurants and the bars, even though our tabs are a tenth of what theirs are. So we can't really even afford to have live music at this point. It's either you play for tips and like whatever.
We'll bleep it out.
Whatever. I don't even care.
We'll
But
bleep that out.
they have to play original music. So that's what I have to tell everybody. You have to play original music.
Okay, so that's actually cool because you know what? In New Jersey, we have this really cool thing called original music musicians, and there's a lot of them,
especially in our town.
Yeah, in the town
is
alone,
great
really.
for that.
Yeah, I
Very
didn't
talented.
know.
Yeah.
So I know they do Porch Fest, and there's like some great talent comes out, but I didn't know they're all homegrown.
Yeah.
Really? See, so Tindall Brewery has live, authentic music.
Not often though, because they want to get paid, and I can only do it if they can bring people in and bring the money in too.
Well, that's I'm going to say, musicians, if you're listening, like promote yourselves because the venues, this isn't just you, this is all of them across the board. And I know a lot of musicians that have a huge following, and do like Ernie White, going to throw him out. He promotes himself. I get the email, I know where he's going to be, and he can bring people in because people like live music.
Right.
We were talking about, Cooper's. You know what I mean? Like they just have really good bands that set up and it's something to do. But you're a small business, you're a brewery. And if people like to try different craft beers. Now, I know there was a time when different craft beer people were swapping craft beers and it's like a whole culture.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of clubs too, homebrewers clubs. That's really fun to go to if you ever get a chance to go to one of those meetings. Everybody brings their own beers and everybody tries them.
Oh, wow.
And they're such critics. It's so funny. Like, oh my God, we brought ours and they were like ripping us up. Like, oh my God. That was early on before we started. But,
and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, Vince from Village Idiot was the only one that was like, you can sell that right now. The other people were like, no, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Vince, Village Idiot, I love him.
He's great.
He is great, and he was one of the pioneers too.
Definitely.
I'll never forget. I went to his leg lighting.
Oh, we have one of those.
You do?
Yeah, we don't do a big think about it, but we have one.
Oh, you have to do a leg lighting ceremony
because
and then he had the snow machine. And I own a snow
cool.
machine.
I don't even know what that is. That sounds
snow
neat.
machine, and it just hit a button, boom, and it blows out snow, and they did the leg light. So you have to do that in Bordentown.
Cool.
Do it for the Christmas tree.
Yeah, we always do something. We always release a new beer.
See, look at that. New idea.
Thank you, April.
So in 2024, now you're allowed to have more musics. You've been doing food trucks. So how has it changed and allowed you to kind of,
because the food
you
truck
guys have been busy.
Yeah, the food truck thing is new. The city let us do a trial basis it was supposed to be August, but it didn't happen until probably September, until end of December. We were getting food trucks in all the time, but then now they have to talk about it and see how it went.
Okay.
And but they don't have time to talk about it until March or so, they said.
Yeah.
So I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it again.
Right.
I'm trying to get some restaurants to come in, but the ABC is kind of blocking us in a lot of different ways for that too, even though we're allowed to collaborate with them.
It doesn't
weird.
make sense.
There's so many restrictions that aren't written down, and it's kind of like, and I'm going to say it, if I feel like everybody's making it up as they go, just like all the rules that were happening before, more are coming, and I'm hoping that stops.
Yeah. Well, there's the Brewers Association.
Yes, they're great.
So I'm sure they've got their people who advocate for you guys.
Definitely, especially now that we are with the Guild, the Brewers Guild of New Jersey. We combined. Those are the big guys. So they had the money. Those are the ones that had the lobbyists. Like, we're all combined now, and things are happening and things are changing.
Good.
Yeah, like we're really pushing for certain things to happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, think about it. California has their wines, right? And now
so does PA, New York, everywhere, right?
Everywhere. New Jersey, their venue. I remember when the wines started coming out, and now, the breweries were like the latest start. Now cannabis, same problems. They can't advertise either because there's a lot different. But these are small businesses that are. You guys are people. You're not like this big conglomerate. You don't have big bankrolls.
No.
You have a dream, you have a passion, and they are happy to take your money.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're getting all these registration fees, like cannabis alone is like in the millions.
I got fined like thousands of dollars because I didn't give the ABC agent a tour when he came in. I didn't verbally say, would you like a tour? Meanwhile, we had a band that night. It was packed. I didn't have time. I gave tours that day, but bang. thousands of dollars, or shut down for 2 weeks. Your choice. What do you want?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I don't understand policy because I'm like, we're just trying to, I don't know. I'm not going to say what I really feel, but
I have that problem.
I know. Be careful what you say
know.
because we're on a podcast now. But it's all good but it's true. It's not like we're making this up or anything. But I think the more people that understand these things, they'll know to advocate for small businesses. Because at the end of the day, these are the people who donate to soccer and the sports, who make contributions, give donations for fundraisers. You know, you got to go in and you got to support these businesses like yourself. Now, I know you guys do cookie making and you have a book club. What else? You do stuff all the time. And
try to do different things any chance we get. We have like a stitching group. It's
right,
so cute on the TV.
Stitch and Brew.
We have the Stitch and Brew. We have
so cute.
A crochet club that comes in. We're doing a Thai fishing lures.
Oh, get out.
All these guys come in. They're so cute with their little microscope things.
That's a thing, fly fishing?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's more out west, but it's kind of hitting this area. I saw some stuff. I'm like,
it's pretty neat. I got feathers all over the place for a week, but whatever. It works out. Trivia.
Yeah, you still doing trivia with that lady? She's crazy.
Yeah. She's Lola.
I love it.
Lola. And now it's Dr. Josh, too. Lola and Dr.
Lola
Josh.
and Dr. Josh.
Yeah.
I know. They're just fun. It's like a fun place. And you guys have a great vibe. And
we're like the clubhouse. Everybody that wants to do something comes and does it because we have the space.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the space. And I like you. What do you have? Good vibes only in there. And I'm like, that's right. I love it. So how can people find you? Website, which is really kick-ass. You got a new website. I love it. I love it.
It's TindallRoadBrewery.com.
Cool. And your social feeds, I know you post a lot. Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone, you want to try a brewery, go visit Marci, Tindall Road Brewery, Bordentown City, New Jersey. Badass little town, a lot of fun. She's down at the end. And by Boyd's, in that area.
Yep.
Oh, and they have shuttle transportation on the weekends, free.
Carlita's the driver.
Carlita. Hey, Carlita, we love you.
Hi.
And also valet parking, too. So you can valet, I think it's $5. But anyway, so there's just some options for parking in Bordentown, and parking is free in Bordentown
We have a
City.
tarot reading tonight. That's going to be fun.
Oh, you do tarot readings, too?
Yeah.
See, look at
She's awesome.
Constantly coming up with stuff, which is what I love about you, because you're willing to try anything.
Tell everyone, you want to do it? Fine.
To keep your business open. And that's what it's all about. Having fun, creating memories, and in your case, drinking beer.
Yum.
Well, thanks for coming in. This was great.
Thank you.